You know, there's been a move in Congress to impeach some Biden officials. I mean, there's even been moves on Biden himself. But one that we believe is most relevant and most realistic is the potential impeachment of Secretary Mayorkas at the Homeland Security Committee. And this idea that as the Secretary of Homeland Security, he has failed to implement his job, which is to secure the border, protect Americans, but also he gets up in front of Congress and says, there's no problem at the border. There's nothing to see here. There's no major numbers. So all of that we'll lay out through the show. ACLJ Action at acljaction.org is supporting these House Republicans who are putting these potential articles together. They're in the investigative stage now.
Secretary Mayorkas, we got to be clear, does not have a lot of friends in the United States Senate either. There's been serious concern about his administration of our border security. There have been other concerns within the Department of Homeland Security, not limited just to the border wall. But when you look at the situation, I think in the House of Representatives, this will pass. He will be impeached. Now, in the Senate, the trial would be a whole different ballgame.
He doesn't have a lot of support from these state law enforcement officials, not support from his own Customs and Border Patrol, immigration's ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. All of those groups have been very vocal in their opposition to how this administration and this agency led by Secretary Mayorkas has handled these surges at the border that go up and down. You remember sometimes the news gets heavy and hot on it.
Right.
Sometimes they break away. It hasn't changed.
Look, he is required by law to enforce the federal immigration statutes. That includes the phrase operational control of the U.S. border. Also includes detention and the removal of illegal aliens from the country. Now, there are 85,000 missing, are these juveniles, I guess? Kids that have crossed the border with or without parents or maybe through coyotes. They are missing. And then you talk about misleading the public. In April of 2022, Mayorkas claimed that Homeland Security had operational control of the southern border. We know that wasn't the fact at all.
And we wanted to bring in Congressman Chip Roy, who's also leading those efforts. He represents the 21st District of Texas, but he is a national leader when it comes to these issues. And Congressman, it's great to have you on and join us. Let me ask you just first about this. Your Republican colleagues who have been dealing with trying to ask Mayorkas questions, whether it is the horrors that come out of a porous southern border or the disinformation campaign, how tough has it been to convince fellow Republicans to take this action?
I mean, I've been pretty clear for the last 2 years that I think that the impeachment of Alejandro Mayorkas, that the case has been made, right? I'm very clear in laying out the case that he has violated his oath to the Constitution, that he is failing to carry out his duty to faithfully execute the laws of the United States. He lied to us under oath. It's crystal clear. Unfortunately, a handful of my colleagues on House Judiciary and generally on the floor in the House have some concerns that it doesn't rise to the level of high crimes and misdemeanor. I disagree. They believe it's maladministration. I think this is well beyond maladministration, that this is a dereliction of duty. It is a breach of the public trust. And in fact, as I said, he has lied to us under oath. So he should be removed from office. If our guys can't find the fortitude to impeach him, then we ought to force his removal via the funding process.
So we want you to support us in this effort. You go to acljaction.org. That's acljaction.org. We've got a pre-written letter I'm holding in my hands now that you can send directly. Click there, put your information in. You can also edit it, add your own information. Maybe you live in a border state and you want to share a story about what's happened to you. You can do all of that through the new tool we've launched through ACLJ Action. So go to acljaction.org today and get your letter into Congress, to your member of Congress, supporting the impeachment of Mayorkas. And Dad, this is an important time for the ACLJ. We're just a week away from one of our big end of our ACLJ Life and Liberty Drive, and we need people in the fight. There's so many different issues we're focusing on, but I want to encourage you to go to aclj.org. Be part of this Life and Liberty Drive.